Oiga, Skokudi Nikwisichimwe. We'll go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. The Waukewa Kamanchamakut Junction Baboquivari Unified School District Regular Governing Board Meeting. Today's date is Monday, December 8th, 2025. I'll go ahead and, before I do that, as has been customary, and I just want to make sure we continue as a board to stand behind our school district in sharing and uplifting and upholding the vision, mission, and purpose statement of our school district. Our vision is our students will be loved, encouraged, and prepared to take on the world by embracing our himduck. Our mission statement is we create healthy, inspiring, motivating, developing, achieving graduates. And our purpose statement is we create a positive academic impact on every child's life every day with the additional commitment to support the Taunautam culture and language. And as such, this governing board, as members of the community, has stood unified in the fact that the culture and language and who we come from is extremely important, especially to identify who we are, where we come from, and of course, encourage the use of the Altamyok in and aware as much as possible throughout the meeting. So we do encourage that, and we want to continue to see it grow and continue to encourage all as we continue this path together. With that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Sabala for roll call to continue our meeting.
All those present, Juan Woodin,
Ian Heichut.
Kathleen Vance, Sylvia Hendricks, Anna Marie Stevens. Next, please roll.
All right, we do have a quorum. We'll continue with this evening's agenda. Letter C this evening is our Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you are able and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Letter D this evening is our routine business. Number one is the approval of the December 8th, 2025 board meeting agenda. Board members, with your approval or consideration, I would request if we can move our executive session and our vote to reconvene, as well as the action item following that executive session to before our action items and after our information this evening, if that's okay with you.
Before the action item?
Oh. So after we finish information number 9, we'll just move right into the executive session, which shouldn't take long. And that'll be my motion to amend the agenda and approve as requested. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks.
Motion on the floor to approve the agenda. New agenda items will be F, G, and H, which will be executive session, reconvene, and action. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
All in favor, Juan Woodin,
Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance, Sylvia Hendricks. Motion carries.
Thank you. That'll, motion approved. Number 2 is our approval of the November 12, 2025 regular board meeting minutes. Without objection, a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Kathleen Vance.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Woodin,
Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance, Sylvia Hendricks. Motion carries.
Okay, with that, motion carries. Number 3 is our call to the audience.
I did not receive any call to the audience.
For the record, we have no call to the audience this evening. We'll continue with our agenda. Letter E is our information items. Number 1 is the student council presentation. Mr. Diaz or council?
President Mudia, members of the board, members of the community, it is a great honor to introduce right now our members of the student council. Please, let's give him a round of applause. They'll be giving us their update.
Also, I am the executive vice president on the student council board. And today I have here with me the vice president of the senior class. And we put the presentation together and she'll be reading the first slide.
Don't forget your names.
Skipsiere Kaniapjurgit, Jasmine Hendricks. I am the class vice president. What is Student Council? Student Council is a student-led leadership group that represents the student body and works to improve the school community.
And these are the rest of the senior officers. Our president is Ember Antone, our vice president, Jasmine Hendricks, our secretary, Uriah Lewis, and our treasurer, Monet Lewis. The senior class of 2026 is a united, passionate, and determined group of students who have grown through many challenges and emerged as strong leaders, ready to make our final year unforgettable. As we celebrate how far we've come, we also look ahead with excitement, driven by the friendships and experiences and support. Our class officers are committed to serving with integrity, creativity, and dedication, working to amplify student voices, strengthening our sense of community, and create meaningful events and memories that reflect who we are as Autumn. Together, we strive to ensure that our senior year is not only successful but lasting tribute to the spirit and legacy of the class of 2026. Our senior class officers put that together. And this was just a look at a couple of the Spirit Week pictures we have, but there's a couple more on the next one. So this was our Halloween Spirit Week. And our first day was Mummy Monday. And basically it was just toilet paper or anything you could find to wrap yourself with. And so a lot of people participated, but those are the majority of the pictures that we got that day. The next day was Twisted Twin Day, and basically any duo you could come up with. So like the S'mores, the Cool Guy Twins, or even our rock stars over there. Then we had a Pink Out Wednesday for breast cancer awareness, and there was more pictures. I wish there was more up there. I think we had an issue with the computers that day. Then we had Friday, we called it Baboquivari, and basically anyone who dressed up took pictures, and there was a lot more costumes, and this was all we got together. But it was fun. A lot of people did. And our next thing was the winter drive that we had put together, and basically anything you can donate that can keep somebody warm or make somebody happy, or even non-perishable food items, we're accepting them over at the high school. We haven't gotten a chance to spread it out to the other schools so that the donation places are a little closer, but this is our flyer for it. And for the senior class, the future project is, well, these are some places that we want to go, or that we've all decided and within the meetings that we've had. And I think that's it.
Mr. Davis, you want to say anything? Go ahead.
Don't go away, not yet. We have questions, comments, concerns. No, first of all, let's give him another round of applause. Again, this is our leaders. Let's continue to encourage them. Thank you for your presentation. Most importantly, thank you for your engagement and your leadership. You living up to your mission and how you want to make this year unforgettable. Thank you for sharing those moments. I do ask, as you define where you want to go for this year, please ensure that the parents and the district and the students, they get together so we can hash out what are going to be the requirements. Every year there's a couple of hiccups that can be preventable. We just want to make sure that we follow all of the steps and all of the requirements. So at the end, everyone is happy, even those that choose at the end not to go or that cannot go based on the guidelines that you set. Yeah.
I think the only thing just to add to that is I always want you guys to feel supported. Um, and I don't want you guys to walk away with an impression that we don't want you guys to do what you want to do. But I think that we need to be very understanding what Mr. Diaz said, that there is processes, there's procedure, there's things that need to be done. We want you guys to be able to see whatever it is that you want and be able to achieve, go far. But I think it's especially important to make sure you're also listening and asking questions foremost. I think that the board gets put in positions where where it sounds like we don't want to support you. And I only say that because it's very true. I've as a parent of students, I understand where that perspective can come from. So I just want you guys to hear from us, the horse's mouth, and the board. I think in general that we do want you guys to be able to do what you like to do, and I think that you guys have been amazing so far and in the efforts. Thank you so much for the presentation. I know it takes a lot to come up here, and it's only going to get easier as you continue to do it. So, of course, we're always excited to hear the presentations, and I can't wait to reschedule the meeting we were supposed to have, hopefully. So, again, it's important to me. I think that in the future, I would really much like to see a lot more collaboration between the board and the student body or the student elected officials, just because I think that that's a really good way for you guys to gain experience and maybe one day sit here and be able to say, okay, I do remember us having those types of conversations, because I think none of us should plan to be here for a really long time. I think we should be ready and willing to give up our seats to those who are ready and willing to take them. So I really want you guys to feel like these are your seats too, and you guys deserve to be able to be here to make these types of decisions the same as we do. Anything else from the board? If not, thank you so much again for your presentation.
Thank you, guys.
How do we make
Go ahead.
that happen? Because that's the first time I'm hearing that, and I'd really like to make that happen, because that
Awesome.
sounds like a really good idea.
Perfect. I look forward to bringing it forward. It's definitely something we want to do.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
listening.
Thank you.
Number 2 this evening is our Baboquivari Pike School District Students of the Month, Mr. Diaz.
President Mudia, members of the board, this is an amazing time. Please know that we do have some seats in the front. If this is your first time, when you hear your name, student, please come forward. Little ones, you're going to shake everybody's hand. And then we're going to ask your parents, families, everybody to come forward so you can take a picture. You have the option to, on your pictures, to have thumbs up, a heart, number 1, or anything else that you want us to do for you. This is your night. And at this point, please help me put your hands together to welcome our first principal, Ms. Enriquez. Let's give her a round of applause.
All right, good evening, President Buendia, governing board members, Mr. Diaz, and community members. Our first student is from Ms. Aguilar and Ms. Cherie's pre-K class, Ms. Layla Antone. Layla is a very attentive listener who consistently follows rules both inside and outside the classroom. She is a kind and caring friend who treats her classmates with respect, and she happily shares toys and materials with others. Layla's positive attitude and willingness to help make her a wonderful member of the class. When Layla grows up, she would like to be a doctor because she wants to treat sick people.
Everybody, let's give Layla thumbs up.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Congratulations.
For our next student, I'm going to have his teacher come up, Miss Pete. I'm going to have her give it to him. Let's give her a round of applause.
For my student of the month, I chose a pretty great student, Eisen Antone. I don't know where he's at.
Right over there hiding.
Eisen is a student of mine. He is greatly improved in all areas. He has demonstrated determination in all subjects. Eisen is an active participant. Every morning he runs up to me and says, "Good morning, teacher," and make sure he welcomes his classmates with a hug. He's always a helping friend and constantly checking in on his friends. He makes sure everyone feels included and cared for in the classroom. Eisen is a joy to have in class.
Okay, everybody, let's congratulate them. And let's make a heart. Show your certificate. Congratulations.
All right, our first grade student is from Miss Quiñones' class, Penelope Garcia. I'm sorry, Ignacio, I read a different name. Sorry, Penelope. Penelope consistently puts forth strong effort in reading, writing, and math. She is kind to classmates and helps others without being asked. She demonstrates leadership and sets a good example in the classroom. When she grows up, she wants to be a chef because she loves to cook with her grandma.
Everybody. Everybody. Let's put the big up for everybody. Ready? Thumbs up. Congrats.
All right, for second grade, I don't know if she's out there, Misty Delahanty. Our third grade student is from Miss Holmes's class, Kiari Hunter. Kiari has been a great role model within the classroom. She is very helpful with her peers and is always willing to go out of her way to help those in need. Kiari always treats everyone with fairness and respect by treating them with kindness. Not only does she have superb characteristics as a student, but she has always pushed herself to do her very best. Kiari is a responsible learner and is always ready to learn new topics. Ms. Holmes is very fortunate to have Kiari in her classroom. When she grows up, she would like to be a teacher.
There you go. We all fit. Ready? Thumbs up.
Ready, smile. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Congrats. Thank you so much.
And our last student is from Miss Cipriano's hymn dog class, Aspen Lewis. Aspen brings amazing energy to the classroom every single day. She is respectful and always gives her best. Aspen values our autumn hymn dog when speaking and in everything she does. She willingly participates in class discussions and activities. Aspen practices anytime her classmates may need assistance. When she grows up, she would like to be a veterinarian.
Who wants a harder? Everybody? Ready?
All right, ready, 1, 2, 3.
Way to go.
Please welcome Miss Begay Lewis from the intermediate campus.
Good evening, families and board members. Our first student is from fourth grade.
Good evening, everyone. This student is given to a student for consistently demonstrating a strong work ethic and a positive attitude in the classroom. He shows respect to peers and teachers and takes initiative in his learning. He also tackles challenges with determination and consistently puts forth his best effort. When he grows up, he wanted to be a businessman because, especially by selling boba tea, juice, and other affordable refreshments. And when his business grows and becomes successful, he wants to help other small businesses in the community. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to present to you our fourth grade student of the month for December, none other than Zachary Enriquez. From the House of Dreamers.
We're gonna do a heart. Congratulations and thank you for coming. Please join us for the picture. All right. Don't grab. Ready? Let's make a heart.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile.
Thank you, Mr. Fuentes. And for our fifth grade, our student is from Mr. Cody's room, Gabrielle Hendricks. She is being nominated for her strong academic efforts, kindness, and respect towards her classmates and staff, and is a leader in the classroom. She takes responsibility for her learning, helps others without being asked, and contributes to a positive and supportive school environment each day. And she would like to make the world a better place by making more schools and making school fun.
Family, please join us. Everybody. Everybody. There's room for everybody. The first picture is free. She wants a heart, everybody. Ready?
Ready? One more. 1, 2, 3, smile. Awesome.
I don't see our sixth grade student or our student from Miss Wood. So our sixth grade student was Aiden Velasco. He was nominated for his outstanding demonstration of responsibility, kindness, and strong work ethics. And then we have Matthew Ramon from fifth grade from Miss Wood's class for his outstanding growth over the past month. So thank you and congratulations to our intermediate students. Now, middle school and high school, Miss Once.
Good evening, governing board members, to Superintendent Diaz, President Buendia, and family and friends. We are here for November 2025 Students of the Month. The first one, The 7th grade team names Elin Thomas as the November Student of the Month. Elin is the grandson of Dorcas Segundo. Elin is a respectful, kind, and hardworking student who shows great dedication every day. His favorite teacher is Mr. Wilson, who supports him in his classwork and encourages him to keep doing his best. Elin's dream is to become a police officer one day. He thinks cops are cool because they protect people and keep the world safe from bad guys. His heart for service doesn't stop there. Elin wants to make the world a better place by improving things around him, helping make food better, cleaning trash on the side of the road, and stopping people from doing bad things so everyone can live in a safe and clean community. We're very proud of you, Elin. Keep working hard. He's also very stylish. In case you don't know, he can rock a pair of suspenders. Okay, our 8th grade student of the month. The 8th grade team names Teresa Francisco Student of the Month for November 2025. Teresa's guardians are Marianne Toro and Christopher Francisco. Teresa's favorite class this year is social studies with Mr. Papoka because she gets to learn a lot and history is interesting. Teresa's favorite teacher this year is Mrs. Luanes because she is lovely and makes learning math fun. After graduating from Baboquivari High School, Teresa plans on going to college. Her current career goal is to become a hairstylist. Teresa would like to thank her guardians for their love and support. Keep up the good work, Teresa, and keep pushing to learn and grow as a student. Side note, Teresa always has the tea, so bring her snacks and she'll share it with you. Okay, and Alice Lopez is the 9th grade student of the month. Alice is the daughter of Rebecca Fernando. Alice is a bright, hardworking, and enthusiastic learner who brings positive energy to our school community every single day. Her favorite teacher is Miss Erin Martin, and she shines the most in science, where she asks thoughtful questions and shows a genuine curiosity about the world around her. Alice dreams of becoming a wrestler someday, strong and confident, just like she's in the classroom. But what makes Alice truly inspiring is her big heart. She wants to help make the world a better place. Congratulations, Alice. And side note, she will not be wrestling her teachers. Ellie Enriquez is the sophomore class student of the month for November 2025. Thank you, Geraldine Enriquez. If you didn't notice, she came up earlier. She'll come back up again. Ellie's guardian is Geraldine Enriquez. Ellie has no favorite class this year because she likes them all equally. She also likes all her teachers equally and refuses to play favorites. After graduating from Baboquivari High School, Ellie plans on going to college. Her current career goal is to become either an artist, a chef, a fashion designer, a film director, or a writer. She may become all of them. Tonight, Ellie would like to honor and thank her friends and family, the people who have stood by her and supported her through all the tough times and struggles. Their support means everything. You're doing a wonderful job, Ellie. Thank you.
Who wants peace, everybody?
She is from the House of Reverse, so it makes sense to all her wild dreams. Adam, are you here? Adam? Adam? No? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and, Adam Bustamante is the 11th grade student of the month. Okay. Diani Sixkiller is the Senior Class Student of the Month for November 2025. Diani is the daughter of Crystal Manuel and Jason Sixkiller. Diani's favorite class this year is her VOAG Student Aid class with Mr. Pablo because she finds it fun and interactive. Diani's favorite teacher this year is Mr. Mouche because he's cool and his class is interesting. After graduating from Baboquivari High School, Diani plans on going to college. She wants to study psychology and business. Her current career goals are open as she's interested in many things. Diani would like to thank her family and friends for all their love and support. We're so proud of you, Diani. Congratulations. We can't wait to see the great things ahead of you.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile.
Congrats.
Okay, and that's it for the Baboquivari Secondary Campus. Next up, Ms. Masson.
Good evening, President Buendia, board members, Superintendent Diaz. This evening, we have 2 outstanding students for Student of the Month for November. And we have Dean Rafael Montana. Our November Student of the Month is a remarkable young man who consistently demonstrates responsibility, commitment, and genuine leadership. He is a positive role model for his peers, always caring for his friends' well-being and supporting others with kindness and maturity. Academically and athletically, Dean excels through hard work and dedication. His talents extend beyond the classroom. Whether he's building complex Lego creations with ease or stepping up to help teachers without being asked, he approaches every task with focus and pride. He follows directions, contributes positively to our school community, and carries himself with a level of maturity well beyond his years. We are proud to honor him as our November Student of the Month. Congratulations, Dean.
Smile. 1, 2, 3.
Great job. And we have a second Student of the Month. We have a Josiah Moreno. Josiah, come on up. Josiah is truly a special young man who brings joy, honesty, and positivity to our school community every single day. Josiah has a bright spirit, is friendly, kind, and consistently follows school expectations. Josiah has shown tremendous responsibility and has demonstrated growth, maturity, and a strong desire to do well. One of the highlights of my day is seeing him walk through the door with a cool Mashi handshake, a warm hug, or uplifting words that instantly make me smile. His honesty, gentle nature, and genuine heart make him someone we are grateful to have on our campus. We are proud to honor Josiah as our Student of the Month as well.
Thank you. And happy birthday.
Awesome. Thank you again so much, everyone. That'll conclude our Students of the Month portion of this agenda. It's always the most exciting and rewarding part to be able to celebrate our students. So thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to continue to encourage and support and continue to host all of your amazing students. So thank you so much for joining us. Have a good evening.
push that. No, 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 I just wanted you to hold it. Oh. It's okay.
Continue with our meeting? Okay. We'll go ahead and go to number 3 is our Barbecue Unified School District Governing Board Financial Report. Ms. Clementina Carla.
The ones that don't say memo. So the second one and yeah. Good evening, President Buendia, Governing Board members, Superintendent Diaz, everybody here. Attached, I hope you had the opportunity to review the fiscal year 2026 expenditures through November the 30th. All the budget balances are currently positive. As of November 30th, 2025, 63.01% of the budget across all funds has been expended and encumbered, leaving a remaining balance of 36.99%. The average expenditure percentage through November is 41.67%, and BUSD has spent 24.4% of its budget to date, not including the encumbrances. Are there any questions?
Good job.
No, no questions. Go ahead, Ms. Carla.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. I hope you had an opportunity to review the fiscal year 2026 student activities auxiliary balances through November. The total revenues in November were $4,722 from the BHS Babo Day club sales and basketball concessions. The expenditures in November totaled $385.75 for the BHS Student Council supplies. There was a transfer of 7 cents from the class of 2025 to the BHS Student Council, and the ending balances for all clubs on November 30th was $101,995.45. The student auxiliary account had revenues of $4,095.75 from BHS Athletic Admissions, a rebate check from All American Publishing, and the Indian Oasis Intermediate School Book Fair. The expenditures totaled $1,650.81 for the primary book fair and hotel and gas for cross-country team. The ending balance for the student auxiliary fund on November 30th was $7,778.03. Are there any questions?
Questions, Ms. Sylvia? No?
Thank you.
No, thank you, Ms. Carla.
Go yet. You next.
Number 4 is we'll move into our Barbecue Unified School District future projections. Ms. Carla?
Oh. What do you want me to go over first?
First
There's
half.
the first half? Well, I don't know if you had an opportunity. This is a spreadsheet that's, it's 10 years. I'm gonna have to start hiding the old years and adding more years, but everything looks pretty good. There's a 2% increase of all of the expenditures from one year to the next, and the enrollment is pretty flat. But anyway, you can see the M&O and the impact aid for each fiscal year. It's still positive on the budget balance on line 17, all the way through 2030. Are there any specific questions to this spreadsheet?
Hang on one second. She's having. I have a question, but more or less, I just wanted to make sure it's noted. First of all, thank you so much. I know you have been very effective especially when it comes to some of the requests that we have and or some of the ideas that may be presented, and of course, making sure that you're being very much fiscally mindful for, on behalf of the district, which I 100,000% appreciate. But what I do want to make sure to express, especially in this, uh, at this time, with the board and for the public, is that a lot of the a lot of what's happening throughout the state continues to also happen here. When I talk about that, I mean enrollment. Enrollment is where we definitely are going to, we have seen a decline, as all of our school districts have. So I want to be very transparent in that while we are and we do project, that those projections can always change, and there can always be things that we're working on. And I know that I've definitely, and we've seen, if you've seen, there have been school closures put on to agendas. There's been a lot of different things that I feel like I know we haven't come to yet, but I also know let's not rest and take it for granted that's going to continue. I'm very confident that we as a board and the school district and as well as our superintendent have been very, very visible and adamant and try to be cooperative and collaborative with the nation when it comes to this. But I just want to make sure that we're recognizing that as board members and as individuals of the community, and for the sake of on the record, that is not gone beyond us, and it is definitely something we're trying to make sure, hey, this is still a possibility. While we're projecting positively, if anything should change, we do know and we do need to make sure that we're, and we do, and I know from at least discussions with the superintendent that his work with you has been very mindful of those types of things. I just wanted to make sure that that's
Yes.
expressed.
So if we go to the last tab where it says ADM, you can see what the actual ADM decline has been over the years, and you can see where the funding, of course, has continued to slightly increase each year. So we are very conservative here when we do the budget. We do budget at a decline. We don't do actual like increases or flat. It's always a slight decrease. So we are very conservative as far as that. But thankfully, because of the law that was passed, there is always going to be at least a minimum of a 2% increase for the state equalization funding.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we are very mindful of everything. Thankfully, because of where we're located, we don't face a lot of the challenges that other schools do have with the voucher programs, and there's not a whole lot of competition out here for us. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but we have been very fortunate to not have the same challenges that districts in the suburbs do have.
Agree. Yeah, I just definitely didn't want that to come across as though we're not taking it seriously. Questions from anyone else, Ms. Sylvia?
I don't have any questions, just thank you for sharing all this information. And thank you for actually looking ahead, you know, in regards to the school district, ensuring that, you know, we are here and we want to take care of our students especially, but we also want to take care of our staff and teachers.
Thank you.
Great. Mr. Diaz?
President Buendia, for transparency purposes, I want to piggyback on what you were saying. Whereas Baboquivari Unified School District, it looks healthy in comparison to other districts. And for the public to continue to hear what's going on around other districts, however, we want to ensure that our community, that the steps that we have taken the last couple of years, under the leadership of Ms. Carlisle and Ms. Cornell, and the support of all directors, that we've been looking into how we can continue to be financially responsible. This information is important. Why? Because we're looking at how we can continue to retain staff, but also recruit other staff members. Based on what we're looking at, we are also managing, and things can change depend on how healthcare increases, also the enrollment decreases or absenteeism continues, as well as what is the political climate. So we've been preparing for a couple of those areas that we do have some control to continue to provide stability. In the event that we need to make choices, we do have multiple options that will be brought up at the appropriate time. But at this point, based on this projection, a couple of items that we're going to be bringing before you, we want to give you the information and to the public to understand what the reasons that we're going to be making some recommendations or bringing some recommendations before the governing board is because our district has made the previous, has taken the previous step to get to this point. Thank you.
Is that it? Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Sylvia, sorry.
I just, on top of that, I just kind of wanted to emphasize in regards to our attendance initiative. I think that because that is part of the calculation of what we get, and as you mentioned, absences, once we cut down on absences, it makes it a little bit more, or, you know, could benefit the district better for, or more for our students. But it does go into the calculations when students are absent, if you're not aware of that. So that's why we have chosen that type of initiative to keep our school districts up and running and, you know, ensuring that. But basically also that we want them to get the education that they deserve.
Thank
and
you.
If they're not here, obviously, you know, they're not getting what they need to know, you know, for their future.
Absolutely.
And I think part of that, especially with that initiative, and I think people don't realize that it really does play a factor in why board members before myself and board members in general have been very adamant that that's something we need to make sure is a high priority. But I also think that there's an importance, especially to share with the community. I think from this table, this board table, that the gaps I think that we see, or the instances people don't really feel like it's important, is why I feel so much better about the team that we have now, the superintendent we have, and the trajectory that we have seen. It's been fairly positive. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but it has been far more positive than we've seen in a very long time. My hope is that that emphasis in that prioritization of education for our students is going to take the forefront at some point. Meaning, we aren't here just to be a school. I think that there's of course that's the point. That's the whole point of it. Students are important. We want to make sure that we're here for that purpose. But in and as much as we can, welcoming in students that for some reason or other have decided that they aren't going to, or even trying to go above and beyond to help families that are dealing with issues that normal schools wouldn't be able to because they just don't have. I mean, we're able to because of some of the benefits that we're talking about tonight. But I think we need to be very clear that when students don't come to school, things like closing classrooms and compiling all of them, you know, smashing them all into another classroom because we don't have enough enrollment, closing schools because our enrollment continues to decrease. Those things are not what any district wants to do, ever. But I just want to make sure that we're expressing that from here to the public and on record, that those are very real things that need to be not at the forefront, but they need to be in the back of the mind of what I do and how I come to work today, or how I come to engage with students goes far beyond just teaching them A, B's, and C's. It kind of gives them a sense of belonging, and I know that we're well beyond what we're supposed to do when it comes to that, but also gives them a sense of belonging, of self, which is why we've really encouraged the use of our language, culture, heritage of those that have grown here so that they have that semblance of belonging and understanding. Um, so it's more than that. And again, I'm not saying that it's perfect, but what I do want to say is that there's an intention behind what we have tried to do, and I'm really glad that we're preparing. COVID-19, I think, taught us a lot of different things about preparation, and above all, about how to navigate and mitigate and triage some of these things that people didn't really think were a factor. Um, and I say that because this is serious as that. If we don't, if we don't have those plans in place, how is everyone here who works for us, who drives an hour and a half out of their way, spends many hours, sometimes outside of contract, which I don't agree with having anyone work outside of their contracted hours. But what I do understand is that it is a sacrifice. And so that also comes with really giving much more of yourself to just being present. And it's a lot to ask someone. So I understand where if that's too much, people need to make decisions. But I am grateful that we're putting putting our foot forward and making sure that this information is not only shared, but that it's emphasized that these are things that we're looking at, but these are things that if in the happenstance these don't go that way, this is where we're going to help. So that was it. And I'm glad, thank you so much for all the information. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for the presentation.
Number 5 is our Baboquivari High School District 2024-2025 letter grades presentation. Mr. Diaz?
President Medina, members of the board, it is with a great honor that I bring our district affairs manager. She understands all of the different letter grades and all of the different pieces that we need to be aware as board members, colleagues, administrators, and family and students. Congratulations to our schools. We have maintained a C or became a B. Congratulations to our intermediate and high school. And all of the administrators that collaborated along the way, because this is a trajectory. Having said that, I want our governing board and the community and the staff to become very familiar so that we understand we're celebrating growth. As President Buendia mentioned, we still have a lot of room to grow, and the next one has to do with attendance, chronic absenteeism, and most importantly, it has to do with proficiency. So having said that, Ms. Sudan, please take it away.
Good evening, Board President, Buendia, Governing Board Member, Superintendent Diaz. I'm back for your yearly letter grade presentation. Okay, of course, ARS 15241 requires a A through F grading scale. Next slide, please. On October 27th, the State Board of Education approved the prior year cut scores, so they're the same cut scores that were there last year to determine the letter grades this year. Again, full academic year. These are the only the students who meet FAY are counted in the letter grades. So for traditional schools, they have to be enrolled within the first 10 days of school and the first weekday in May. So that would have been May 1st, 2025. And for alternative 9 through 12, they have to be enrolled on October 1st, 2024, and also have an ending date or the first week in May as well. So I put in some definitions because I know last year had some questions about what each of the categories means. And so proficiency, I think the one that's important to note is that points are deducted if the schools don't meet the 95% tested. And so we really shoot for that 95%, otherwise they have points deducted. Growth, you'll see that each student's progress toward proficiency is not included in the growth indicator this year. So students can earn higher points depending on their previous score and level of growth. So for example, a minimally proficient in 2024 and high growth earns high points. For acceleration and readiness, for third grade literacy, reducing the number of students who score minimally proficient in reading. They get points for acceleration and readiness. And eighth grade math is reducing the number of students who score minimally proficient and or increasing the number of students who score highly proficient. Attendance is reducing the percentage of students who missed 10% or more of the school year. And then test scores among student demographic groups and the inclusion of special education students in mainstream classes. So we'll take a look at primary. Of course, they're not graded, so they receive an NR because they're only eligible for 40 points out of the 100. And so they're scored on proficiency or stability proficiency and acceleration and readiness. And so it's a 3-year comparison from 22, 23, 23, 24 in this past school year. So you can see the historical points that the school has earned. You can go to the next slide. So one of the things that Mr. Diaz has talked a lot about is focusing on proficiency and increasing those, because you'll notice across the board that our proficiency scores aren't where we want them to be. And so when it comes to proficiency or stability, so proficiency is the top row, and that's the schools earn points for students who score partially proficient or higher, with more points awarded for the higher proficiency levels. So the better you do on the assessment, the more points you receive. One of the things we want to mention is that the final proficiency indicator score is therefore an average of the points earned by students. It's not a measure of the percentage of students who were proficient. So when we look at 14.59, that doesn't mean that 14.59% of the students were proficient. It's the average of the points earned by students. The stability is the calculation weight. This calculation weights student scores higher for students that have been at the same school for multiple years, with whom the school has had the greatest opportunity to make an impact. So the longer the student has been in the school, that's what that stability is. So for K-8, they take the higher of the two scores. So I've circled in red the higher points for each of those school years. So they received 4.38 because it was higher than their stability proficiency of 3.97. So it's alternated for the last couple of years between the proficiency and stability proficiency. Indian Oasis Elementary School, intermediate, their scoring system is the same. So here you'll see the historical data from letter grades and then the last 3 years of how they scored in each of those categories. And thus last year they earned 73.92 points, and that earned them a letter grade of a B. And again, we break it down here to focus on that proficiency and where we can grow. And so you'll see the tested grades 4th, 5th, and 6th. So these are all calculated into the proficiency or stability proficiency. And for the last 2 years, they've scored the highest points in proficiency. Baboquivari Middle School, still the same scoring system. Again, historical letter grades and points awarded. They received 70.57, so just little less than 2 points shy of a B, and so they maintained their C grade. Again, here's the proficiency and stability proficiency. They've also alternated between which one scores higher. And so when you get into traditional 9-12, the grading scale changes and the areas change. And so proficiency is still the same. There's a growth that's still in there, but they also add college and career readiness. And that's 9 through 12 schools record graduating seniors' completion of activities, including AP testing, dual enrollment, FAFSA completion, career and technical education, workplace certification, and other categories. And then they also have a graduation rate that they take a look at, and that's the 4, 5, 6, and 7-year cohorts. So the idea is if a student doesn't graduate within their normal cohort, that we try to catch them and get them graduated either in year 5, 6, or 7, well, before they age out. So here's the breakdown for the high school. Back in 22-23, they had a subgroup improvement, and in the last 2 years, they've changed it to growth. So that's why you'll see in the two different pie charts. And then on the table, you'll see the last 2 years where it shows growth for 23, 24, 24, 25. And so they earned 66.43 points, and that gave them a B. So when we're looking at proficiency, the tested grade is the 11th grade, and that's when they take the ACT or any ESS students who are eligible for the MSAA. And so you'll see the proficiency here. It should be noted that for ACT ELA scores, they have to take all 3 tests in order for their scores to count. So if a student misses the reading test, they're not factored into proficiency. So they could have done really well on English and writing, but it wouldn't be reflected here. Alternative definitions, they also have mostly the same things. With theirs is growth to graduation, and that is academic persistence and credits earned and on track to graduate. And so those are the outlines. That's the outline for growth to graduation when they receive their points. And for the graduation rate, they receive points on their highest 4, 5, 6, or 7-year cohorts. So they're not looking at like traditional schools 4, 5, 6, and 7. They're just looking at the highest of those years. Indian Oasis Middle School, they don't have the FAY, so there are no points to be scored here, so they're not rated. And here's Indian Oasis High School. They earned 53.65, which put them at a C, which they were able to maintain from last year. And then also here is their proficiency scores for the last 3 years. I know we also had some conversations last year about bonus points and how schools can earn those. You'll see that for K-8, they can earn special education, science proficiency, bonus points for a total of 5 possible. Traditional 9-12 can earn special education, science proficiency, military or post-secondary enrollment, and ACT Aspire participation. So that's typically the 9th graders tested. And then alternative has ACT Aspire or subgroup 5-year grad rate. And those subgroups are McKinney-Vento, foster care, or special education. I also gave you, there should be 3 one-pagers with the breakdown for each of the categories with a little bit more information about what each category entails. It's just supposed to be a snapshot. If you have any further questions about the breakdowns.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for the breakdowns. I think it's definitely informative. And I know it's a lot.
Yes.
So thank you so much for putting it together. Board members, any questions for the presentation?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sudan. Appreciate
Thank you, Mr. Dan.
Number 6 this evening is our Baboquivari Unified School District School Principals Reports. We'll start with Ms. Enriquez Benson.
Right.
President Buendia, Governing Board members, Superintendent Diaz. I have submitted my report. I hope you have had the opportunity to read it. Our attendance did not do so well this month. We dropped to 88%. But our third grade is still holding strong. They've been in the 90s. Today I looked at it the first week, they're at 92%. So they're really trying to push our third graders to be here. All teachers are, but with illness on the rise, we've been seeing a lot of students absent. We had our annual Himdagdash the week before we went for Thanksgiving break. We had lots of presenters there for our students, so we want to say thank you to them. And Ruben, did I forget anything? No?
The what?
You always point something out that I missed. I think I'm good.
Let me check my notes. You covered it.
All right, thanks. All right, you can play the video.
I am grateful for my car.
And take a good night's sleep. And to the south, where the water comes from, that you drink enough water to be dehydrated. And take a good night's sleep. And to the south, where the water comes from, that you drink enough water to be dehydrated. And take a good night's sleep. And to the south, where the water comes from, that you drink enough water to be dehydrated.
I don't have any questions. Anybody else? You good?
Good.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Enriquez
you.
Benson.
Good evening, President Buendia, board members, and Superintendent Diaz. The only thing I really have is thank you to Channel 13 that came to our campus to come and help us celebrate our success, and for our very own Chairman Verlin Jose is an altruismo. So he is in our house, and one exciting thing that our kids, well, my kids, the students did not know, or the staff, nobody knew, is that I put 90, number 90 all over the campus, even on the playground, everywhere, and they had no clue what it meant. And so for 2 days, I had them in suspense, wondering what the 90 meant. And then on the last day, I told them it was because we had 90 out of 246 students who were at grade level in reading. And so they were really excited. And we were awarded the Copper Apple Award. That was a surprise. We did not know. And we were wondering why these extra people were here. And they're all, we're just coming to visit your school. I was like, okay. And then I invited them to our assembly, and then they gave us the award then. The kids were really excited. And ready for the video?
Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about theater and drama. You want to start first, or should I start? You start. So about theater and drama, it is really fun. You guys should join. We would like some participators, and there's something special at the end, December 13th. And we're going somewhere to share our theater and drama. And we just like some participators because there's not really a lot of us.
Okay, 6 minus 5. Okay, 1 minus 1.
Looking at this school and saying, wow, they are doing great work. And so we are excited today to present the Copper Apple Award to Indian Oasis Intermediate School for having so much growth and so much advancement over the last few years.
And thank you to Mr. Cody for making the video.
Questions from the board for the report? If not, thank you, Ms. Becky Lewis. Appreciate you. Miss Onse for our.
Give it up for Ms.
secretary.
Onse.
Hello again, board members who are still here, and Mr. Diaz. The highlights for the secondary campus is we actually were able to celebrate our Himadak Hatash Day, and our Warrior Cross Country kiddos got to go to state. They didn't place in state as high as we'd like them to do, but we have next year. And then one highlight I do have, if we can scroll down just to the incidences, if you've been following our incidences, these kiddos are used to get in their way and they don't like the boundaries we have. So if you go down like more, our high schoolers have finally got it under control a little more. Last month, I think we had 20, 30 more right there. So high school in the month of November only had 5. And I say only because that's really good right now. And our middle schoolers, we are still working on getting those incidents down. But that's where it is. So I want to celebrate the high school for modeling the better behavior. And then if we can go ahead and start the video.
Give it to somebody. And he gave it to me. Okay. Then you Chris. I don't have it somewhere. I forget where it is. He's always asking me, what did you do with my picture? Okay. Then pull down. Did you get it? Mm-hmm. Then you pull this one. And pull this one. Take out my thumb.
Questions, board members? I just want to say thank you for pointing out the incidents. I know it is something to keep an eye on, but I'm glad that you mentioned you're working on it. Other than that, I don't have anything. Thank you, Ms. Once, for the presentation. Appreciate it, for the report. Ms. Mazon.
Go ahead, Ms. Mazon.
Alrighty, we have the report or the video. We can do the video first. Sure, if that's okay. Yeah. Thank you. That was an amazing month. So I hope you enjoyed the video, but some of those highlights on the report, you got to see on the video, which is a little bit of mesa and hiking and hymn dog and GED presentation, and so forth. Babo Day was amazing. Thank you for having us. Principal Once, I'm sorry, did I greet everyone? Good evening. Good evening, President Buendia. Good evening, board members and Superintendent Diaz and guests and listening audience. That was a little video put together, a small glimpse of what happens in Indian Oasis Middle and High School.
Awesome. Any questions, board members? Ms. Mazon, thank you so much for your report. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. You're welcome.
Moving on, number 7 is our Baboquivari School District Governing Board members' reports. I do not have a report this evening. Is anyone else? Actually, I should mention. I did attend the Miracle on Main Street just on Friday, and it was an amazing, of course, event. Thank you so much to Ms. Hart and every single other person who helps to put that event together. I think it's extremely important also to acknowledge that I did have some questions, but I think I want to make sure Mr. Diaz can answer those. And it more so pertains to how the event was actually structured in a sense of the timing, student, school, and then the event. And trust me when I tell you, I don't want there to be any kind of. I want everybody to know that I understand and I see. And I felt like working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. is a little bit much. But that's me as a board member thinking about our staff, our students, and not staff, but not students, of course students, but staff and everyone else involved. So I did have some questions for Mr. Diaz, which we'll have some more discussion about. I think that the intention of those days were never to make it a burden, but more to make it celebratory, engaging, and to make it so that there was it feels like it's not something that can weigh on anyone. And I don't mean that in any negative way. I think it's important to acknowledge from the side of the board, at least from my perspective, is if we're going to do something like that, we need to make sure we're taking care of everyone. But above all, I think that the community, the partnership, the overall event and its purpose and the 16 years that it's been happening, as well as the celebration of our academic achievements, felt really good. And I don't have anything else. I just wanted to make sure to say that, at least from my standpoint, having been there and been able to observe. So I don't know if I have anything else per se on that. So anything, Ms. Vance? No. Ms. Sylvia?
Not at this time, I don't.
I just want to say congratulations to all the school sites for the bees. Yay! And I know the attendance is going down, but don't worry about it. It's going to go back up. Yay! And I also want to say thank you to Dominic for the invite to the Indian Oasis Middle High School for their Native American Days. It was really good to see all the kids there that, they're very creative. The students there, they were very creative in making anything they wanted to make. And that was one of the things that I wanted to, and I left there, was that
no matter what, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. That was the main message, was not giving up. So I know, so, if you saw some of those pieces, they were very detailed. They were really nice. So I want to just thank the principal, Ms. Han, for stopping in, and then also for Dominic for the invite. I think that's the only thing that I was able to get done before since the last time we met. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vance. Number 8 this evening, we'll move on, is our Baboquivari Unified School District Student Superintendent's Report. Mr. Diaz?
President Maria, members of the board, members of the community, and colleagues. For the month of November, and even before November, I need to also apologize. Last month, I missed to thank the primary school. They had the community day, and I completely missed to acknowledge and thank for all the work that they did for an extremely successful event. So thank you, Ms. Enriquez, for all of the planning that took place. I also want to give another shout out to all of our schools, school principals, and staff. I know November, our attendance across the district, it took a hit, but I want to use that as an invitation to our families. We can do this together. It's attendance, we have control, but we also need our families and parents to make sure students make it to school. I appreciate our principals and our staff and the committees for having the incentives in which it shows. But nevertheless, we need to work together on this endeavor. I want to thank the principals as well for making sure that you go above and beyond all the work to ensure that we had a attached day in every single one of our campuses. Thank you for all the extra work that you had to do, bringing your partners, organizing and collaborating. I want to give a shout out to Director Hart for, again, maintaining an event for 16 years. It was another successful year, but it's also an opportunity to thank all of the departments, all of the staff for being there, for supporting, and for providing the students the opportunity in the community to come together. Thank you for tech support and operations and all of the work that took place behind the scenes, and for the extremely long day to our staff. So thank you so much for the support. I want to extend also a shout out to Executive Director Patrick Andrew for collaborating during the month of November. There was a couple of meetings set to discuss chronic absenteeism, and I'm grateful that he's willing to work together so we can address this matter, and we're working with HRDC. I want to also send a shout out to the TO hospital staff and our principals and support staff in the district for getting together so we can begin the collaboration, how we are going to take advantage of some services or bring the services to a school or the expertise to the school to support our families and our students. And also I want to express my appreciation, extend my appreciation to Chairman Verlon Jose and our Vice Chairwoman, Carla Johnson, for taking the time to join us, not only for the sorting day, but also during the Chris Miracle on Main. Thank you for that. I want to thank, on top of that, based on the director's reports, operations, thank you. Despite of 3 vacancies, you continue to make it work and continue to work on the grounds and the work orders. I know we still have a lot of work orders, but you're making it happen based on the staff that we have. Transportation, Ms. Mies, thank you to transportation. Happy birthday to our Mr. B, as well as Ms. Mies. They have a presenter every month, and Ms. Mies was the keynote speaker during the month of November. Thank you for exercising goal 3.9, connecting. Thank you, and support in challenge number 4. For the Sunrise House, the Family Community Engagement Department, 7,000 pounds of food distributed during the month of November, and over 220 families that were served. And our curriculum instruction team, they spent 25% of the month of November coaching, 48% supporting the sites, and 17% supporting their professional development. And having said that, let's look at the video.
Questions, board members, for superintendent's report? Mr. Diaz, I know I didn't get to ask before, but can we get, and not right now, because I know it's not in the report, an update for the public on the bus app? I didn't see anything in the transportation report.
Absolutely.
Whenever you can, if not, next meeting sooner.
Absolutely.
Anything else from the board? All right, number 9 is our Barbecue Unified School District's overnight to attend the 28th annual Yvonne Johnson Shootout. Governing board members, just remember there is a blanket, right? For athletics. This is just information to let us know so that they can take care of what they need to. With that, Mr. Diaz, I know it's early, but it's up to you. If everyone who doesn't need to be here would like to be excused, we're going to go into our next item, which is our executive session.
Thank you for your consideration, President Buendia. Unless they have an action item with your support, if they can be dismissed, that way it's going to be a long week for them. But if not, they don't have an action item, I'd rather go for them to go home so they can be ready for the rest of the week.
Of course. Have a good evening. Sorry, Ben. You had to stay. All right. With that, we'll go ahead and vote to convene our executive session per ARS 38-431.
Go ahead and make the, go ahead and make the motion to reconvene into regular session.
A motion by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks to reconvene into regular board meeting.
Second.
Second by Ms. Kathleen Vance.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Padilla,
Masapa.
Kathleen Vance,
Masapa.
Sylvia Hendricks,
What's up?
motion carried.
Okay, with that, we'll move to the action item, which is number 1, discussion and possible approval of recommendation for student expulsion. I'd like to share, well, I'll begin with at least acknowledging the severity of the situation. Expulsion is not something to take lightly, and it is not something that this board wouldn't consider without the proper amount of consideration for not only the student body, but the student and the family and the community at large. Mr. Diaz, I believe we want to hear what conditions may be applied and whether we're going to do, and how we're going to move forward.
President Buendia, in an effort to continue to support our students and our schools, some of the recommendations to be considered will include behavior modification plan, counseling sessions, the required letter for readmission from the student, and to be able to hold a re-entry meeting in which a safety plan will be included with some conditions, and the requirement of an ongoing enrollment in a program to demonstrate a commitment and growth.
Thank you, sir. I want to be very clear, I think especially in the sense of the severity of the situation, but also the sensitivity of a student in a stage where growth and support and some self-responsibility for their actions, especially after discussion with the board, should be considered. I believe that our mission statement, our vision statement, and purpose statement are very clear, and I want all of our stakeholders to really understand that this is not something the board would take lightly, but it is the board's decision, and on a case-by-case basis, where we have to come to a decision. I strongly believe that policies and all of these things are extremely important and should be upheld, and that our children are, though, on the other hand, need care, structure, and opportunities to learn from their mistakes. So I guess with that and without any other discussion from the board, I would like to move to approve a long-term suspension, no less than 1 year from the approval, with the conditions of the reentry plan, the behavioral modifications, and any other conditions that Mr. Diaz will put together and provide to the family. That's my motion.
President Buendia.
Mr. Diaz.
For clarification, we discussing an academic year or calendar year?
Calendar year.
Thank you, sir.
Oh. There's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Kathleen Vance.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Padilla,
Mosapa.
Kathleen Vance,
Masapa.
Sylvia Hendricks,
What's up?
Thank you. All right. Mr. Sabalo will follow up with the family and Mr. Diaz on the action of the board tonight and recommendations for conditions. Moving on, letter I is our action items for the evening. Discussion, number one is discussion and possible approval of resignations. Before we move on that board, I do have something to share. And it's the reason that I pulled the item from the consent portion of the agenda. I just want to take a moment, especially, to read a statement. I know that as a president and as a member of the community, and especially as an individual who has students in the school and who has had students be impacted by our amazing Filipino educators, I just wanted to make sure there was an official statement from the board president. To our cherished Filipino educators and to the community that has embraced them, on behalf of the Baboquivari Unified School District Governing Board, our families, and our entire community, I extend my deepest gratitude and sincere appreciation for the years of service you have given to our students and to the Tohono O'odham Nation. You made a journey that required courage and sacrifice. You left home, family, and familiarity to travel across the world to Sells, Arizona, to the homeland of the Tohono O'odham. Though the world can feel unpredictable and distant, you stepped into our classrooms with heart, resolve, professionalism, and unmistakable love for teaching. Through the J1 Exchange program, you committed yourselves not only to education, but to cultural exchange, understanding, and connection. These 5 years were not simply a contract or a term. They were years where you shared your culture, embraced ours, and built ties that time cannot undo. You brought your flavor of learning, your stories, your heritage, and your warmth to our district, and in turn allowed our children to teach you who they are, where they come from, and what this land means. As a father, I want to speak with personal gratitude. My children, during their years in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, experienced true growth and care under teachers like Mr. Flores, Mr. and Mrs. Hilua, and Ms. Bulata. So with great consideration and support from their mother, the choice was intentional. Knowing how important the teacher-student relationship is, you were more than educators, you were steady hands, patient mentors, and joyful influences in their development. To Mr. Fuentes, Ms. Granado, Ms. Ramos, Ms. Quinones, and Mr. Saligan. Though my children were not directly in your classrooms, I have witnessed your impact through work as board president, in classroom observations, walkthroughs, student interactions, and community feedback. I've seen your dedication and the unmistakable growth of students entrusted to you. Your commitment has not been quiet nor casual. It has been clear, consistent, and deeply rooted in care. You learned our language with respect. You embraced our culture with grace. You became part of our rhythms, our celebrations, our challenges, and our triumphs. You traveled far and gave more than instruction. You gave presence, affection, stability, and belonging. As you conclude your 5-year term with us, we honor not just what you taught, but what you lived alongside us. You will return home to loved ones and families who have waited, prayed, and counted the days. Their joy will be great, and ours is full, knowing that your time mattered, was felt, and will remain. Please know that the community will always welcome you back. You will always have a home here. You will always have ties here. You have earned not just appreciation, but a place in our story and in the hearts of the students who carry your influence into their futures. I think that carries so much more of a deeper respect than I think, especially coming from our language and our culture to yours. You've made a great difference. Thank you for your courage, your sacrifice, your friendship, and your unwavering service to our children and to the Donaldum Nation. You'll always be remembered, and we look forward to seeing you again. Ta'apa Mui, with profound respect and gratitude, President Juan Buendia and the governing board of Baboquivari Unified School District. Mr. Diaz?
It's hard to follow after that, President Buendia. On behalf of the district and our team, I also have some words for our Filipino teachers, international teachers. You can't hear me? All right, better? Worse? That it's hard to follow after that, but on behalf of the Baboquivari Waukiwaha Culture family, there's also some words that we would like to express to our international teachers.
Yes.
Dear brothers and sisters from the Philippines, you embark on a new adventure 5 years ago to a place you have never heard of, known as Baboquivari Unified School District. Some of you had your interviews in the middle of the night to accommodate the time difference between both countries and our office hours. You packed and traveled around the world and trusted your gut feelings, the authorized documents in your hand, and limited information you have received via email or Google Meet. You packed your life in 1 or 2 suitcases and left the comfort of your home, your previous teaching assignment, your friends, family, and in some cases, spouses and children. Over the past 5 years, you have embraced the Tohono O'odham language, culture, traditions, but most importantly, you have embraced our students. You have loved them, taught them, challenged them, and supported them. The combination of your enthusiasm, learning spirit, your positive attitude towards challenges, your involvement in school and after-school activities did not go unnoticed. 3 years ago, our BSD team was challenged to share the light. You have shared your enthusiasm. The BSD team was challenged to be brave, to be bold, to be BUSD, and you have contributed with your commitment among other team members, resulting in the district reaching new historic academic growth of a letter grade C's and B's. The team was challenged to leave a footprint behind. You have imprinted your love in your students, and I believe that they can do it. On behalf of the BUSD Governing Board, Baboquivari Unified School District staff, our students, and the community we serve, we thank Mr. Neo Fuentes, Mrs. Honey May Quiñones, Ms. Jessie Ramos, Dr. Granado, Ms. Irene Hilua, Mr. Alan Hilua, Ms. Jerry Bulata, Dr. Sarah Flores, Mr. Vimrick Soligan, Ms. Haniga Tubala. Thank you for your dedication, commitment, enthusiasm, sacrifices, leadership, growth mindset, and caring for our students. Soon you will be back in your life again and return to the Philippines for reasons outside of your control. We wish you success in your future endeavors and hope that you can return in the near future. You have left a solid footprint impression, but most importantly, you will leave the doors open in our district and our students' hearts. With respect and admiration, Ruben Diaz, your proud superintendent.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Diaz. And again, group board members, thank you for allowing me the opportunity. With that, I'd like to motion to approve the resignations as presented by for the Filipino teachers. Is there a second?
Sadly, second.
All right. I have a second. Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance. You got it.
Masapo.
Sylvia Harris.
Masapo.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you all so much. Number 2 is discussion and possible approval of the School Facilities Division 5 Project Grant Awards. Mr. Diaz, are you presenting, or is it Mr. Rolla?
President Buendia, members of the board, we're proud to announce 5 additional SFD project. They constitute a transformer to move a transformer for Baboquivari Middle High School. And some repairs at the Indian Primary Elementary School, relocate 2 electric transformers for Indian Intermediate Elementary School, replace windows in Indian Intermediate Elementary School, and remove some electrical panels in Indian Intermediate Elementary School. The recommendation in order for BUSD to stay in audit compliance and continue to receive the additional funding from SFD. The BUSD grant office is recommending the governing board to approve the 5 projects for grant awards.
Any questions to the item? If not, I'll motion to approve the School Facilities Division Project Grant Awards. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Kathleen Vance.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Montiel,
Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance,
Masapa.
Sylvia Hendricks,
Masapa.
motion carries.
Thank you. Number 3 is discussion and possible approval of the School Facilities Board IFB 230824 Edge Construction Change Order 1. Mr. Diaz?
President Buendia and members of the board, similarly, we have a change of order to one of the companies so we can paint and expose drain pipes and sealing 88 pipe penetrations at the building and also at the intermediate campus. This will be part of the weatherization of the Indian Oasis Intermediate School. So we asking to approve the change order 1 in the amount of $34,570 to Edge Construction for the weatherization of that school.
Any questions to the item?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks, second by Ms. Vance.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Montiel,
Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance,
Masapa.
Sylvia Hendricks,
Masapa.
motion carries.
Motion carries. Number 4 is discussion and possible approval of the School Facilities Board IFB 230824 Edge Construction Change Order Number 2. Mr. Diaz?
President Mundia, also part of the renovations, the last one, it will be for a change of order for a total $242,496 for the removal of existing windows, installation of new windows, new HM stops, repainting, and work for the approved design documentation. So we're asking our governing board to move and approve the change order number 2 for the amount mentioned above to Edge Construction for the weatherization of Indian Oasis Intermediate School under IFB 23-08-24 and authorize the superintendent or designee to execute the necessary documents.
Mr. Diaz, can you state what the amount is? I'm sorry, I can't.
Yes, sir. $242,496.
Thank you, sir. With that, I'll motion to approve the change order 2. Questions? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Montiel,
Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance,
Masapa.
Sylvia Hendricks,
Masapa.
All right. Number 5, discussion and possible approval of the expedited review and adoption of revisions to policy GCBA, professional staff salary schedules. Mr. Diaz? Or Ms. Anybody?
Yes, but President Mundia, at this point, I want to ask support from our CFO.
Good evening. We were just asking if this could be expedited so that we can try to entice teachers that have more experience. And currently, we went ahead and we looked at other school districts, and there was only one other school district that only took 5 years of experience. Everybody else took 10, 15, 20. So at this time, we're asking if we could just expedite the policy and change it from 5 to 10 years of experience for teachers to try to see if we can get more teachers with more experience. And we're hoping to tap into unfortunately, the schools that have lost their teachers and see if they are willing to come this way.
Okay. I think that's a really great recommendation, and I'm excited to see what'll come from it. So, Any questions? Go ahead, Ms. Sylvia.
Don't go anywhere.
I just had a question. So do you foresee that these teachers with 10 years or more experience, it's not going to limit us because we do have a lot of positions to fill this upcoming year?
Well, we want to expand it, so we don't want to limit ourselves to say we're only going to give you 5 years. We're going to give you up to 10 years if you have that experience. So a lot in the past, there have been teachers that have had more than the 5 years experience, but the maximum that we give them is the 5 steps, a 6, starting on step 6, unless the superintendent makes the recommendation to exceed that. So that just gives us more flexibility.
Okay.
Does that apply to anyone now that didn't get that opportunity?
It's going forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because it could be a nightmare.
No, I hear you. Okay, okay. No, that's fine. And I think it's important to ask the question and make sure it's clear. Okay. So going forward, this is what it'll be. All right. Question? You okay? Motion to approve the expedited review and adoption of revisions to policy GCBA, professional staff salary schedules.
Second.
Second by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks. Masapo.
Masapo.
Masapo?
Thank you. Motion carries. Number 6 is discussion and possible approval of the proposed 2026-2027 educational support salary schedule. Mr. Diaz or Ms. Clementina?
So we're wanting to adjust the ESS schedule, and we want to increase the base from $15 to $15.30. So the minimum wage effective January of this year, of 2026, is going to be $15.15. So what we want to do is get ahead of the curve and increase it so that next January, when there's another increase to the minimum wage, we're ahead of the game and not have to do mid-year work agreements for our staff. So it's going to be a 30-cent increase for each step, and so it's going to amount to approximately 4% for the ESS staff that's on that salary schedule.
Okay.
So they'll get a 2% plus whatever the 30, and it's 2% each step going across and down, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it. With no questions or objections, I'll motion to approve the proposed 2026-2027 educational support salary schedule.
Second.
Second by Ms. Kathleen Vance. Masapo.
Masapo.
Masapo?
Thank you. Motion carries. Number 7, discussion and possible approval of the proposed 2026-2027 certified salary schedule. Ms. Carla?
So similarly, we're asking to change the certified salary schedule. We want to go ahead and do an increase of $400 to the base, and then a step increase will be from 630 to 700. So the teachers currently don't get a percentage, and so when we do say that they get a step, it's usually less than maybe 1% or something. So this will be closer to a 2% increase if we make those adjustments.
Okay.
And again, it's just to try to make it more attractive
Recruit.
for teachers,
Oh.
yes.
I think it's, and to retain, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll go ahead and make the motion.
I have a motion by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks to approve the proposed 2026-2027 certified salary schedule.
Second.
Second by Ms. Kathleen Vance. Yes.
Masapo.
Masapo?
Number 8, discussion and possible approval of opposition letter to JTIP, of opposition letter of JTIP potential bond. Senor Diaz.
I'm going to ask Tech Support if they can place a letter that was included on item number 8. As I begin to explain, as part of the PIMA superintendent's meeting, one of the items that we have discussed, JT program is trying to go for a bond for about $300 million. And based on the proposal that they are going forward, they want to invest about 80 to 85% or $260,000 for the building. However, that only service 8% of the students. whereas the majority of the students are served across all of the other 16 districts. They're only allocating $60 million versus the $240 million. So this letter, all superintendents decided to write a letter and to present it to our governing boards to see if our governing boards are in support that this agreement or that disproportionality. Whereas most of the students are being served outside of the JTED program in Tucson, we believe that more money should be allocated to support all of the students, which is the majority of the students participating in that JTED program. What we're asking is a motion of support so we can sign our name as part of this letter so JTED can reconsider the percentages that we'll invest on the remote programs such
Mr.
as
Diaz,
ours.
I had a question after we talked about it, which I don't have a problem with it, but their board has to move on this, right? And they haven't yet. This is the letter to help them understand what we're looking at, what they should make in a
Yes.
decision wise. Okay,
That is correct.
the last I saw and talked to the rep, that at least knows he understands and is part of our programs like rural. Okay, so it's probably those that are more metro that are kind of thinking. I'm just asking.
Yeah. They are in support of all the programs, but the money doesn't represent that.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Sylvia, sorry.
So my question is, has the proposal been submitted, or are they, okay, so what's the timeline?
They will be making the decision on or before May of the next semester. However, this information was presented to the superintendents, and we believe that it was not proportionally equitable.
Okay. And it was presented by the JTED
Yes.
admin?
Yes.
Not there. Okay. Okay.
So it hasn't been presented to their board unfortunately.
That level, I don't know.
Okay.
But based on the information that was shared and purview to the Pima County superintendents, we believe that it should be reconsidered.
Okay. I just wondered.
I agree with the equitable issue that everyone is having, so I'll go ahead and make the motion that we do support.
We have a motion by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks to approve the opposition letter of JTIP potential bond, seconded by Ms. Kathleen Vance.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan
Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance,
Masapa.
Sylvia Hendricks,
Masapa?
motion carried.
Motion carries. Discussion, no, I'm sorry. Number 9 is discussion and possible approval of the Baboquivari Unified School District 2025. Is that 25, 26? Sorry. Superintendent pay performance.
25, 25.
He only gets 1 year, 1/2. No, just kidding. Any questions? If not, a motion to approve.
Second it.
Second by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Buendia,
Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance,
Masapa.
Sylvia Hendricks,
Masapa?
motion.
Okay. Number 10, discussion and possible approval of the 25-26 school year governing board goals. Mr. Diaz.
President Rodilla, members of the board, once again, based on the evaluation that governing board members completed, and based on the areas that demonstrated that we can grow, there were some areas that were collected per the governing board's directive. I put together some goals for the governing board to review, to begin looking into making changes or deciding which ones are the ones that you would like to reconsider or consider. The goal is you either make any changes or add or delete any of those goals that were included in this document. This will also be very helpful so that once the new member or in the vacancy is sworn in, we can also use as a direction how we can provide some additional support and bring her up to speed. But it will also set some parameters of what is it that I need to do to support my governing board, and what the governing board also understand what would their responsibility be to meet and increase the percentage on those goals. Back to you, President Mudia.
I know in the past, board members, and I know we tabled this the last meeting. This was when Anna Maria was here. I know in the past we had initially agreed and passed similar types of goals each school year. And I think with this, well, after discussion with Mr. Diaz, I felt like let's just put it on the agenda and at least we're committing ourselves and reminding ourselves and making it, kind of more formal to the sense of these are the goals that we want to meet. And, I know, again, like was stated at the last meeting, we have work, we have things that come up or we're not able to, but, we're not able to do, maybe it's a meeting or not able to attend an event or whatever it may be. So I just want you guys, I'm not saying that we're not committed to these goals. I just feel like throughout the year or years prior, we had, approved the same type of goals. And I guess it also helps us to look at our board survey, our board evaluation too, to some degree. But let me know how you guys feel. It's on the agenda. It is a board goals. It's not just mine or yours. I guess we have to collectively agree. And right now we are too short. But what do you guys think? I don't know. Yeah. Motion to approve? Okay. I'll approve the 25-26 school year governing board goals. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Kathleen Vance.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Buendía.
Mosapo.
Kathleen Vance.
Masapo.
Sylvia Hendricks.
What's up?
Motion carried.
All right, number 11, board, I know I had asked Mr. Sabala to place this on the agenda. Discussion and possible approval of selection for alternate delegate for the Arizona School Board's annual conference. Ms. Vance will not be in attendance. She's the alternate. And if you didn't see any emails, I am actually putting my name for secretary for the board of directors. So it's my hope to have an alternate delegate to vote.
I'm there to vote.
Sylvia, okay. I'll motion to place Sylvia as the alternate delegate for the Arizona School Board Association, Arizona School Board's annual conference.
Second.
Second by Ms. Kathleen Vance. It's me,
You are.
but because I'm on the
But you're on the,
I'm on the ballot, so you're gonna
Okay.
vote. That was the intention.
okay.
Because when I found out she wasn't gonna go, I'm like, well, who's gonna vote? We're not gonna be either. So that was why we put it on the agenda. So
Okay.
go ahead, Ben.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Buendía.
Vamos up.
Kathleen Vance.
Masapo.
Sylvia Hendricks.
Mustafa?
Thank you. That ends our action items. Consent agenda. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks.
All those in favor of the motion, Juan Buendía.
Vamos up.
Kathleen Vance.
Sorry.
Masapo.
Sylvia Hendricks.
Mustafa?
Motion carried.
All right. Letter K is request for future agenda items. I feel like we're okay in the sense of what we had discussed before.
Sylvia in the car, Ms. Vance will not be attending. I need to get a hold of Ms. Stevens to make sure that her son's doing okay. See if she's got a daughter.
You taking the car too?
I can.
I just need somebody to let me know and check it out.
Okay.
You taking the car?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually took the day because
Okay.
I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to work.
All right. Okay. Anything else? Future agenda? Mr. Diaz?
I have 6 future agenda
Okay.
items. Let me know if there's anything else that we're missing. But it's going to be for for the January board meeting. We had the summer program to be reviewed and approved. The next one is we had a visit from ADE to evaluate our SPED program, and is to review the findings. Ms. Valerie Valdez will be tasked in presenting that to the governing board. Also, the single audit findings for fiscal year 2025 were completed, and Clementina Carlisle will be presenting those. There is an initiative to review the coaches, how they currently are using their professional leave. impacting their days earned, and the recommendation of reviewing and changing it, of using personal leave to professional leave, so their time is not impacted. Number 5 will be to review the directors and administrators' salary schedule. The last one will be also an introduction of the data, which then will need to complete our quarterly data analysis retreat or study session. Did I miss anything, or is there anything else that you need to add to the agenda?
No, I think for sure, once we have a new board member, really try and focus on some very much like getting together. I feel like, yeah, I feel like we missed an opportunity to really have somebody feel like, I know it's overwhelming. I know it's overwhelming. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So when we do have the new one, just look forward to trying and come together when we
Come
can.
together.
Right now.
So onboarding, and
It's almost it's a
wait, in
shock.
January, there's also in January, we have to do the reorganization, right?
Oh, that's right.
Organization and
Make her
possible
president.
swearing in.
Ben,
The agenda's already in draft form for this one.
Does the board, onboarding, the conference that happens for new board members?
Bolts.
So,
It's in February. She can go.
Is it in
Hopefully.
February?
yeah, so I did offer it to the previous board member, but she never took advantage.
Let's not offer. Let's say.
You're going.
um. Okay. What was I gonna say?
That would be part
Oh,
of
Ben.
the,
Can we reach out to ASBA and see if they have? Didn't they used to have like a new board member book or something?
They used to distribute new board member packets.
Yeah.
They've gotten rid of paper trail.
Oh.
They do offer like ASBA new board member, but then we have to sign right up and attend virtually.
Okay.
I think with the onboarding, planning that we're doing right now, I think that you can encourage the individual to attend the votes, which would be very helpful.
Since we're gonna do some sort of onboarding, can you ask them if they can provide anything that we can utilize? Just if they can. Okay. I just really don't. Yeah, I think we can do a lot better with bringing onboarding someone. I felt a little bad, but okay. If that's it for future agenda items, I hear a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion by Ms. Sylvia Hendricks. I'll second.
All those in favor, Juan Blue,
No suppo.
Kathleen Vance,
What's up?
Sylvia Hendricks,
What's up?
motion carries.
It's 9:23 p.m. We are adjourned. Thank you all.